Mas what about this Hakort stuff? I know your name is Perura. What you're doing, kinda? So today's episode probably is the most personal and biographical one of the whole series. I am talking about my stage name that I'm adopting for my creations and my performances and stuff. And so today's video I am explaining where this come from about and yeah, why kinda. Yeah, I burn as Kaina Valentim Pereira. That's my name in Portuguese, my native language. I'm from Brazil. And yeah, Kaina actually in Tupi-Guarani, the indigenous language, means free man. I think I really love my name, honestly. You know, like I know most Americans have some kind of trouble to say the but is a phoneme that there is on your language, your Anglophonics, but like a Valentim and Pereira, it's kind of hard. Always become a little bit messy, and so I'm playing and living here in United States, and I am adopting the name kind of Hakart for my stage name. So where this come from? That's my grandmother from my mother's side names. I grew up with her, her single name. I grew up with her. I was there almost every day, always having lunch, dinner, and spend time with her when he's already retired and my father and my mother was working like a whole day through, right? And I grew up with her, and he had a huge crisis of Alzheimer later in his life when I was 28, 29, and I left Brazil. She was alive yet, but she was in a very bad position that time already. And when I moved to California, I already spent some time like in that point. I was here and there and everywhere, and I'm very proud that I spent a lot of time and I did a lot of good things with my grandma. And when I was in California, in the end of my first semester, she passed away, and things long sometimes to we figured what that person represented, and yeah, Amelia Accord, her name. She is very Italian, sings French, but no, they are very Italian. They call it Accorti. Honestly, my family calls Accorti. And she burned in a Italian colony in the hills of my state, in a city called São Francisco de Paula, in an Italian community. And she had his first relationship with my grandfather at the age of 15 years old. So she got pregnant at 15 years old, and my grandparent, her father, was very strict and never accepted her back, and so she moved with my grandfather to the city that I grew up. Also, my parents and my uncles grew up called São Leopoldo in the Rio dos Sinos Valley. So yes, you burn in the middle of the jungle, you know, and she had 7 kids. My grandfather passed away few years after they arrived in this industrial city to work in the industry. My grandma retired in the industry, so she really represents a change from the rural era to urban era. All my uncles grew up in this big city that's called São Leopoldo, and she retired working with this industry, uh, and she take care of 7 kids alone because my grandfather passed away when he was very young. He was younger than me right now when he passed away. His name of my grandfather is José Maria da Silva. Maria is a female name, is Mary, and actually is a last name for him. But all my uncles call it a Corte da Silva, and they cut the Maria stuff. But the Maria stuff is a meaning from the indigenous person. My grandfather had indigenous heritage, so he's a very powerful man. He worked in the woods. He worked cutting trees and all this kind of thing. He was like strong and tall and a big man. And yeah, he passed away really young. My mother was just a kid when he passed away. So yeah, getting back for all that and saying the influence that this side of the family have. I love my father's side of the family too. Of course, I'm always going to be a poorer, but for pronunciation, you know, there is a people playing in the Brazilian soccer game that's Pereira. There's the midweight champion, Pota Pereira, and it's a very common name. And I'm not about being common, for sure, but even here in United States, it's a very huge name, you know, and we understand where we're coming from, and I have a huge consideration for my father. I love my father. I love my family, but I'm adopting this name to become a little bit more distinguished. Also close to my grandmother, but a little bit more of identification. So yeah, and starting with that, I worked with some alter egos. It's like pen names, not egos, right? But I worked with some alter egos for my compositions, and for all that, I can list them two. That comes from works. For example, I had a work that I worked with a monologue. I made a monologue for a theater festival in the hills of my state, and have 13 characters, and I interpreted all these characters, and so imagine you have the ability to come these personalities here and there and everywhere. I love to study theater. I still engage it with this kind of art. I believe we have a lot to understand. Theater is such important thing for all the arts, not just theater itself, not just performances stuff, but for life, or how we see things and how we incorporate characters. So yeah, I think I changed it so much since Grandma goes, and I felt close to her, and I think that's a homage for her. And yes, here we go. Oh, don't forget to support channel, huh? I am talking here is really real stuff. So please contribute to my Patreon page, and I have Zelle, Cash App. All the helps is very welcome.